The stock of the hour, Nvidia, is rising up about 3.5% after beating on the top and bottom lines. Joining us now is 314 Research co-founder and chief data scientist, Fernando Vidal. Fernando, got a play for you. Speaking to Jensen Huang just a couple weeks ago about how Nvidia is helping to seed the next phases of the AI revolution. Here's what he said.
Pre-training these AI models, developing new revolutionary models for coding and otherwise. And then lastly, taking these AIs, packaging them into microservices that can run in every cloud, on-prem, anywhere. We've been working together to basically reinvent every single layer of enterprise computing. And so this is where it's starting first.
All right, Fernando, last August, you felt like Nvidia was overvalued. Now, I mean, the price is at least higher. For now, soon it's going to be splitting. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's funny in that clip, Jensen's talking about training, and that is basically what the story is about. Inference, on the other hand, which I think is a much more important part of the AI story, is a different beast, and it requires a lot less capacity. And I think it's interesting to keep in mind that the amount of revenue that NVIDIA is currently generating with this stellar quarter, and nobody can argue with the stellar quarter, implies something about the amount of capacity that's out there. And, we did some back of the envelope calculations at 314 Research. And by our calculations, in 3 years, there'll be enough NVIDIA hardware out on the market based on what analysts forecast for their revenue are to allow everybody to use the latest ChatGPT language model for 4 hours a day, everybody on Earth. So inference is something that is less compute intensive than training. And if it's the case that AI, like we're still in the early stages of how good these models can be, then you can be an NVIDIA bull, because the GPUs we have today are going to look like nothing compared to the GPUs we're going to need in 2 years. But what I've seen, and something to keep in mind, is that the progress in AI has been a little bit more incremental over the last 12 months, especially. When ChatGPT came out, 4 months later, we had GPT-4, and it was like an order of magnitude better. Okay. But things have been more incremental. So,
but what about the software argument on NVIDIA, which in part says, hey, CUDA support, they're going to be able to get revenue off of everybody who wants to build on top of the chips that they've already bought, much less the ones that they continue to buy. So there are potential new revenue streams. We were just talking about streams at the edge with CPU replacement chips potentially coming. Does that affect the outlook for you?
It's a interesting argument to make. I think that the software advantage that they had early on, which is really powering the reason why they're at, they just reported a huge gross margin, and they've been reporting crazy margins on their H100 GPU. And CUDA and software and the fact that they have their supply chain set up to meet this crazy surge in CapEx spending is the reason they're succeeding today. But over the last 12 months or so, there has been a lot of progress in new frameworks for training AI models. There is competition. And I'm sitting and saying all this because no one can deny that today NVIDIA is the hardware you want to train and run AI models. But there's been an incremental progress in leveling the playing field from the hyperscalers working on their own chips, from even little startups designing their own silicon and designing a lot of open source solutions to be able to interface with NVIDIA and other chip manufacturers. So those are the things that every time we get one of these earnings numbers, people are looking for the signs that expectations are not going to keep up the momentum that they have. So far, they have, but that's in the back of everybody's mind on days like today.
All right, so you sound very skeptical about this moat that NVIDIA has around itself and continues to aggressively build out now with inferencing and those layers of software. Do you like competitors better then, especially when we start talking about valuations and what's going to come into the market in the second half of this year and beyond?
Well, people talk about AMD being more expensive or, other competitors being more expensive on a PE basis. And that's, just because of NVIDIA's crazy forecasted revenue growth. On the other hand, Nvidia's margins are head and shoulders above all those competitors, and that's kind of baked into that argument. Honestly, I think Nvidia is, their success is great, but I've always been more excited about the customers of Nvidia and their growth potential. The rest of the Mag 7, I think, have a very valid argument for AI being a huge lift to their revenues over time. And they have a lot less of a cyclical bent the way Nvidia does. And this is a company that is no stranger to, 70% drawdowns when expectations get a little too far ahead of themselves. So I'd rather play in the AI product side with these companies that already have a stable of products that they can improve and upsell.